And now we move on to our next lesson of the day, the beauty of Tzu Chi's etiquettes. We all come from different countries, professions, and cultures, but when we put on our Tzu Chi uniform, it unites us as a member of Tzu Chi Foundation. And this is now an internationally recognized symbol as well. Today, we are very honored to have Sister Tiffany Tan from Australia to share with us how through our uniform and etiquette, we can transduce our inner spiritual practice into an appearance of compassion and relief. Let us welcome Sister Tiffany.
To Masters, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all brothers and sisters around the world as well. It is a great pleasure to be able to present on the beauty of etiquette today. My name is Tiffany and I come from Adelaide, Australia. So before starting, I would like to say the reason why we want to go with the beauty of etiquette is because we work as a group. So the beauty of a group actually comes from the refinement of each individual. So before I start, I would like to share a short clip of Master Chen Yan talking about the beauty of etiquette.
希望在前，只要我们大家共同用心，彼此的节省。希望在前，只要我们大家共同用心，彼此的节省前程。 早课啦，听啊，听到钟声起啦，鼓声在鼓舞着我们呢，要精进呐。人人呐都已经呢很有次序的进入了佛堂里，应该人人呢心里。 都有那一股虔诚，心很宁静，气要虔诚，有规律、有威仪的进佛堂来，站稳每一个人的位置，这从直。 排的看过去很整齐，从横的看来也都是呢，很整齐。从斜角的看过去也是呢，很庄严。这就是人多。 人人有规矩，可以看到了很壮观、很美的生态。这样美善呐，是打从真诚，这种真诚之美，出于那一念善心。 所以，这种的善念呐、真诚之美，这叫做道场。我们呢，虔诚来到这样的道场，就是要修行。啊，修行这名称呐、是意义表达。 是什么？是表达了你我的心，彼此的念头，我们呢同一个方向。所以大家在中午的时候祈祷，唱的韵律啦，很美。那。 唱出来的字字，每一句，每一个字， 那每一句配了音乐呢，都是好美啊！那就是一定是出于虔诚，所以虔诚之美，用音律呢可以表达出来，那用形态也可以呢带动人。你端正，你站的位置正确，我也端正虔诚，跟你一样站的呢，前后对齐，彼此之间啊，都是用自己的身作为典范，看到前面的就是我们的典范，我们跟他站起啦，前后对齐啦，我就是后面的典范。这就是呢，人呐，与人之间互相的教导，教就是身教。只要我站稳，站对位置，你也会看我的位置，你也会来站稳，站对你的位置，这叫做身教啦。这站好了，横的看，前面的看呐，都是很美。那样的动作，一举手，一动作，我们心念心跟心这个念头汇合起来，那样的诚，所以呢，真诚善美，这就是修行的道场。修行不只是呢进道场集中起来，这个时候再修行。孔子讲修行。
Okay. Thank you, Master. Due to the interest of time, I'll be stopping the video right here. But if anyone who is interested in continue to watch the video, it will be available on YouTube. Next, we are going to briefly go through what we are going to do today. So the beauty of etiquette, I'll be covering on the etiquette of dressing, sitting, eating, lodging and sleeping, walking, and some basic Buddhist etiquette. So I will be incorporating some of the live demonstrations and encourage everyone to follow. So if possible, can I invite everyone to turn on your video camera so that we can all do like a live demonstration later? Thank you, everyone. So the first thing that we are going to look at is the dressing etiquette. So dressing etiquette, why is it important? As a lot of you may know, we have different uniforms used in Tzu Chi. And which uniform used in Tzu Chi actually depends on the activity and occasions. So when we are dressing in Tzu Chi uniform, we are actually carrying the whole Tzu Chi image on our shoulders. So the first one here we are looking is what we normally see in formal occasions, which is the suit and our commissioner Mandarin gown. So for 5th Corps members, shown here, which is a male certified member, normally we will be wearing a black suit paired with a light blue shirt, a tie, black socks, and black shoes. And then for tie, you will have a pin between the 3rd and 4th button. While for females commissioner, we will be wearing the Mandarin gown, which is also called the qi pao. And the Mandarin gown actually has a very unique name, which is called the Clothing of Gentleness and Patience. So it is after a passage of the Sutra. So this dress signifies the hoping that city commissioner will treat people and handle matter with a gentle, kind, and compassionate spirit. When we are wearing this gown, we would be pairing it with stockings, either the gray stockings during summer or the thick blue stockings during winter. And also another important, sorry for the low resolution image here, but underneath the collar, which I have here, is our brooch, our sheep brooch. So this one, you will have to wear it about a finger apart below your collar. So this is a full set of the commissioner uniform. We call it qi pao. And the other one that you guys would have quite commonly seen is the eightfold noble path dress. So the eightfold noble path dress, why is it called eightfold? It actually stands for the right views, right thinking, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right samadhi. For today's course, I wouldn't go in details into what does each one mean, but I treat it as like a recipe, like a cooking recipe, but this is a recipe to walk on this noble pathway. It's actually the recipe to get us to walk on this Bodhisattva pathway without deviating to like other directions. And this eightfold noble path here is represented by the 8 buttons shown on here. And on this dress, there's also 6 pleats. So these 6 pleats actually represent the 6 paramahantas that was covered by Dechen Shifu early on, which is giving, upholding precepts, patience, diligence, samadhi, and wisdom. All these are actually the fundamental method for walking on the Bodhisattva path. And similar to the qi pao that I mentioned just now, when you're wearing on this eightfold noble path dress, you would be paired with stockings, either gray stockings or the blue stockings, and you paired with a low black heels or the navy pumps that you will see. And also, normally this dress, the one for qi pao, it will be for formal occasions like year-end blessings, lecturing, or as a host. But for eightfold noble path dress is for gatherings, for Dharma class, sutra chanting, etc. And the next set of uniform would be what you guys would have commonly known as the blue sky and the white cloud uniform. So we call the blue shirt as blue sky and the white pants as white cloud, because we want this uniform to symbolize the hope that all city volunteers will have the heart as white as the blue sky and conduct as pure as the white clouds, which is why it's called the blue sky and white cloud uniform. So if you have any faded blue shirt and white pants, don't throw them away. They are the best uniform for when doing recycling work, working in the kitchens, or cleaning. However, if you are actually attending a formal event, you have to wear a clean version of the blue sky and white clouds uniform, and that is not faded. If you have any wrinkle on the uniform, it should be ironed quite well. And when wearing this set of uniform, you will pair it with the white socks and white shoes. If the weather is cold, we could pair it with a navy jacket, a city navy jacket. There's also some of the occasion that you were asked to be wearing paired with a blue pants instead. What I would like to emphasize here is that regardless whether it's the white pants or the blue pants, we try to wear pants, not jeans. So this is to look really good as an organization, so no jeans. And before I finish the dressing etiquette, I would like to go a bit into the city hairstyle, which is also what we call the city heads. So the city hairstyle on the left-hand side is an image which has happened in, I think it was 1990, in an occasion where this sister here, she actually has really short hair. But when she went up to the stage to get an award from Master, and Master was really impressed. She was saying that your hair is very neat today. So the sisters say, Master, I actually don't really know how to comb it because it was really short and I don't want it to look ugly. So thanks to the member beside me, she actually helped me do like a small bun, even though my hair is really short. So credit to the member. So and thereon, Master would like to tell people that for even though you have short hair, you could still tie up a very neat band. And because of this, I actually went up to look. How does the City hairstyle, or so-called City heads, come by? So in fact, it actually come back to 1988, where was this photo taken, and this sister called Sister Jingguan. So it was an event that when I think it's back in summer when the weather was still really hot, and back then there's no air conditioner, wasn't as common as now. So they had to open up the really big fan. So everyone's hair was blown like crazy, really messy. So when Master was there at that time, she invited three sisters come up to the stage. The first one, her hair was tied up like a cannon, like a big, sort of like a bit like a broom, like tied up like a broom. And another sister is actually our master now, but she wasn't a master back then. But her haircut was really short because her family owns a hairdressing shop. And the other sister was this Sister Jingguan that is here. So Master on the stage actually asked everyone, who do you think among these three has the best and most neat hairstyle? And everyone pointed at Sister Jingguan. So that's where the City hairstyle come by. So from then on, the City hairstyle means you have to tie your hair in a bun, tie it up so that it doesn't touch your collar, and then pair it with a hairpin, which has our lotus-shaped hairpin tied up. While for male faith court member, you do a crew cut, which is like a short haircut. So all these are actually representing the spirit and commitment to hard work and endurance so that everyone could look dignified and neat. So the next one that we will be looking at is the etiquette of sitting, which in Chinese, we have a saying called you sit like a bell, which is really straight up. You will have your shoulder level. You will have your shoulder level, chin tucked in, and your hand will be resting on our knees. And this position is actually telling us that we should be able to eliminate any discursive thoughts and our both body and mind should be settled and unwavering like a big bell. Because if you imagine a bell shape, so it's really big and stable. So it's saying that when we are sitting in the meditation position, we should be sitting like a big bell that is not shaking, very steady. So this is a picture that just to give a brief demonstrations on what do you do when you are wearing, for example, here, the traditional Mandarin gown over here. So when you are sitting, it's encouraged to only sit about 1/3 or only half of the chair. So if you imagine, if you actually sit full chair like me, if I sit all the way in, you will be realizing you will start relaxing, having your back sort of lean against the back and you're not in a straight position. But if you're only sitting about half of the chair, sort of naturally you will try to sit up straight. So then that position is actually the best position. And also you should have your legs closed, slightly slanted to the side. And importantly, no crossing legs. You also have to make sure your dress sort of cover properly underneath, and so that you are sitting in like an upright position. For sitting in a meditation position, as shown in this bottom here by the fifth court members, is you can either do a half lotus position or in a full lotus position. Either way, your hand should be in sort of resting there, but shouldn't be hugging your legs. And also no crossing legs as well. And then if you have to kneel down, make sure that your dress or shirts are all held in place. And the next one is the etiquette of eating, which is etiquette of eating, why is it so important for our daily life? Because we want eating we have a saying like eating is like art, because we try to hold a bowl like the dragon has holding a pearl in its mouth, and we should use our chopsticks like the phoenix sipping water. So what does all this mean? It's basically telling us that we should eat in a noble and elegant manner, and we should as if the royalty were present. But why? It's because we want to eat with gratitude. All the foods didn't come easy. So when we eat, we should eat with full gratitude. And importantly, we should always practice using serving utensils for any common plates. And this is both healthy and in line with the proper humanistic culture. And also at the same time, the meal time should be time that we bring together all the love and warmth from our family. We are showing gratitude to the food and also to the person that prepared the food for us. During eating, everyone should have a bag with utensils where the inside could have your small bottles, the bowls, chopsticks, or fork and spoon. They should all be able to contain in these small bags over here, labeled with your name. And this is so that you don't get mixed up, especially when you go to camp or you are in a big events. And when entering the dining hall, we should all line up, not just all go to start dashing into the dining hall. We should line up in a profile that, and then you hold your palms together, reciting the name of the Buddha. And for all the tables, generally in the dining hall, in whether you come back to Jingshi Abode or in our city office, it will be round table with 10 seats. So each table should be able to accommodate for 10 people. And when you are entering on the one seat, you always go to the farther side of the table. So imagine that if the table is here, you always want to start with going to the farther side. So this is to avoid any congestion. And we should always wait until all people have found seats before sitting down. And once we get a seat, we should always enter and leave the seat from the left side. And when sitting down, you should have your middle and index finger sort of supporting the table, so that it gives you sort of a full support. And you will then, your hands go together and the legs should not be crossed. And also an important part of eating is offerings of gratitude. So when we are in the eating hall, we should be chant with palms together. We recite offering to the Buddha, offering to the Dharma, offering to the Sangha, offering to all sentient beings. And after this chant, the meal may begin. And a few brief steps to just to remind everyone what to do when you are sitting at the dining table. So at the dining table, once you are seated, you arrange your tableware, you take things out from the bag, where your bowls, your chopsticks, or if you have a fork and spoon, you arrange the tableware prior to meals. And then offerings, hold your palms together, you do offerings. And after making the offerings, the left middle finger then slowly press the tip of the chopsticks where you can see here. And then the other hand should carefully leave the chopsticks. This is to avoid too much noises and your chopsticks are rolling over as well. And once you lift up your chopsticks, the other hand should support the bowl. The hand holding the chopsticks support one side of the bowl. And then while the left hand's finger should be kept together. And then you will have your left middle and ring finger then separated and move the bowl up lightly to lift up the bowl. And when eating, importantly, the bowl should be bring up to your mouth level instead of placing on the table. And this is to reduce the distance between your mouth and bowl and prevent us from making a mess as well. And when holding the chopsticks with the right hand, as I was saying just now, we try to hold it quite steadily, like phoenix sipping water. And then your bowl will be like a dragon holding a pearl in its mouth. And in this way, your eating position is very steady. And also, if you would like for another food that is across the table that you can't reach, we shouldn't stand up. We should either use a turnable table or assign someone like, can you get some, like, say please, and get someone to, oh, can you help me get the dish over in front of you? And once you are finished, you put your chopsticks upright and pointed straight ahead, and have your palms together again to signal the meals you are finished with the meal. And when getting up, this is what I meant by holding your fingers on the table, show that you are lightly standing up. And also your chair should also be lightly pushed out, not dragging it out and making too much noise. All these are so that you don't make too much noise in the hall. So after finish with the etiquette of eating, the next one is etiquette of lodging and sleeping. So we have a saying that when you lie down, you want to lie down like a bowl, like this picture shown here. And the reason why we have, and then the other thing is we should all learn how to fold our quilt, our comforter and pillow when we go back to any of the when we go back to Jingshi abodes or any of the city office. And the reason being so is because Jingshi abode is the training ground, and it holds the doctrine that a day without work is a day without food. It is the birthplace for all the city missions and is the spiritual home for all city volunteers. So we should all treat it like our own home. And all the abode's resources you guys might have known is they come from masters, farming, manufacturing, writing, and other labors. So outside of the abode, we should all the resources come from donation of the community, which are not easy. So we should cherish them. Therefore, when we return to the abode, we should cherish and bless or cherish our blessings and all the resources using what is only needed. Therefore, we should treat it so like your own home, pack up after yourselves, fold after when you wake up, you fold all the blankets properly and return back to the spot where it come from. And when you get back, everyone like Shifu would have prepared comforter, lounging accessories for everyone, but we should know how to take care of them and fold them properly. Just a very brief one. So folding the comforter, you have it facing the door of the sleeping hall, and you hold along the long side of the comforter and fold it to the side away from your body. So then you fold it outward like what is seen in this picture here. And then you fold it 3 times so that it becomes like a big, nice square in front of you. The same thing goes to the comforter. While for the comforter, you will fold it 2 sides, and the quilt pad should be folded in half and then folded evenly 3 times again, so that as you can see here, they all become like a block, like a nice square block. And once you have all of them, you should line them up based on the comforter should be at the most bottom bit. And then you have your quilt pad here, followed by a pillow. And all openings should be facing yourself, like because you want the best, you want your best of yourself to face outward. So the representing is like us representing the organization. We want the best of ourselves to face outside. While for the next one is etiquette of walking. You guys might have heard we want to walk like the wind. And what does it mean? So when you only have 3 people or less, it's fine to walk in a single file, which is like a line, a horizontal line. But if you have 4 or more people, we always walk in 4 people, we always walk in 2 lines here. And when forming the lines, there should be order based on gender, uniform, and height. So what does this mean? So for example, for this picture here, you will see we have 5th Corps members, and then we have different uniforms. So it should be 5th Corps member, they will be in the same group, they should be in front. But the first one should be those that wearing a full suit. And then if you have some that didn't wear the suit, but only with the black shirt, where it's summer uniform. And then you have your blue sky and white cloud uniform to follow. And after the 5th Corps member, then it is followed by female commissioner. And once again, if you have female commissioner, then you go by traditional Mandarin gown, first, and then the 8-fold normal path uniform, and finally, those wearing blue sky and white clouds uniform. If on the case that we have the same number for males and females, which is Dharma brothers and sisters, then they can each form a line and line up side by side. And on this right hand here, if you're walking, if you happen to have a chance to walk with the master, with Lama masters or elders, one should follow masters about half a step behind. And if Dharma master is speaking to us, we then gently move forward. If serving as a guide, then one can walk about one step in front of Dharma master or any elders on either side. And if when turning, and then you pause slightly and turn and respectfully point to the direction by gesturing left or right. And the next one is while walking, we will have our bags, either backpacks, our handbags, or utensil bags. So if you're walking in 2 columns, your bag should always carry on the outside, where whoever that is on the right, your bag will be on the right. And whoever that is on the left, your bag will hold on the left. This is so that if you both hold it together, then you will start colliding. So this is to avoid that. And for anyone that attending funerals, for Dharma sisters should try to have a bag that could tie on your right wrist, and then there shouldn't be too much accessories on the bag as well. If you are wearing a backpack, our city backpack, that shouldn't be slanted. You should not only wear on one side of the bag, it should always be 2 sides with level up. And then there shouldn't be too much accessories on the handbags. And while holding the utensils bag, we have seen just now, what you do is you pull the 2 strings at the side nicely, and then you place your hand through to your hand. You place the strings through to our hand, lightly grabbing the bag so that it doesn't swing too much of an angle when you walk. And after finish the few etiquette that I mentioned in front, the next one I would like to talk about etiquette for some city activities. So during any internal meetings, workshops, and activities, we perform bows or prostrations towards the front, right? And then by organization-wide consensus, whether or not there is an image of Buddha or Master Chen Yan, when someone calls out, perform 3 bows out of respect, we should all know what to do. And the first one that we would like to have a look is putting palms together. So putting palms together is basically having it in front of your chest, not on top or not too low at the bottom. So I would like to, it's a great pleasure. I would like to invite our training team to demonstrate this. So we can continue. Yeah. Hold on, sorry, I can't see which one you guys are at. Yeah. So if you see, so your hand, you always hold your palms in front of your chest, and that's how we hold palms together, not upright near your face. So that's your side angle, and then so don't hold it or not hold it to your belly. So like that's also too low. So it's always nicely level up to your elbow and just in front of your chest. And when we say lower your palms, that is with your left hand underneath and then your right hand on top. And then also about the same level as your elbow, it will naturally, it will naturally goes underneath here, but not overly up here, not overly on top and or bottom. So it should be quite in a relaxed and elegant position. So that's our palms together and lower palms. And the next one that I would like to demonstrate is the Virocana mandrel. So it starts with the left 3 fingers here and the right fingers stacked together. They're stacked together, and then you have your top first finger holding like a window. And you also have your thumbs pressing in between the two middle finger here. And when you get it up, so it's normally, so when you get it up, you should be able to see through this small window here. Get everyone to practice. So it should be in between your eyes, not just one eye, not a single eye, but it should be right in front. Very good. And also bear in mind that you shouldn't be too pointy. Like this one should be a lightly, like a door, like a small window. If it's too pointy, then it's like you are going to hurt people. Your poke is too sharp. So you should always be gentle. So like a small little like a curve over here, and you could look through it gently. Thank you, sister. And I will encourage everyone to practice more. And so the next one is we would like to sort of show everyone how to do a full mandrel bow. So for this one is when someone calls out, do one mandrel bow. If I could show you guys. So when you start with mandrel bows, it should always be, again, your palms together in front of your chest. And when you bow, you should be a 90-degree straight back. So as you can see on demonstrations over here, and then you lift up yourself. So as you can see here is, so Shifu is demonstrating here, your back should be straight. Your back should be straight, not curved or not, and you should be always like, even though you are bowing to look forward, it shouldn't be this way, it should be straight back. So this is a good looking bow. Thank you, sister. You can now come up. And so if we say perform 3 bows, so the first bow is, just now we will say, okay, first bow, you will go down with palms together, do a straight back, and then come back up. Same thing, second bow, you go back down and come up. And the third bow is the one that we have to do the viral canal mandrel sign. So you do third bow, and then you perform the viral canal mandrel sign in front of your belly, and then come up and look through the window. So that's what we call, when we say perform 3 bows, your first 2 bows is palms together. And the third one, when you come back up, you should have the viral canal mandrel sign over here. So that's the third one. So hopefully everyone can remember. That's the full mandrel bow. Thank you, sisters. And thank you, Sifu. So that's the mandrel bow. So this is very important when you guys attend activities or anything. It should be once someone calls out, we should know what to do. And the next one is posturation. So posturation is actually one of the most sort of the important thing, the utmost respect and reverence, touching the ground to your forehead as shown here. So you have your head touching the ground, showing respect. So the same goes to posturation. It's quite similar to mandrel bow, where if someone calls out, perform one posturation to the mother, then you put your palms together, you do a posturation, and when you come back up, you do a mandrel sign, which is come back up like this way. But if you are doing 3 posturations, when someone calls out, perform 3 posturations to the Buddha, then what you will do is the first 2 posturations is palms together, and then the third one is again performing the mandrel sign. So only the last one, if you're doing 3 times, only the third one you perform the mandrel sign. So before I flip over to the next slide, can I get everyone to do the mandrel sign again? Left hand, 3 fingers underneath, and your right hand is on top. And then with a curved window, and your 2 thumbs is in between the fingers, and then come up like that. So can I see a perfect mandrel? Can I see through everyone's eyes? Beautiful eyes in front. So they're right near your elbow. So your fingers here, these 2 fingers will be near your eyebrows. So see your beautiful eyes. Thank you, everyone. So hopefully everyone could do this sign perfectly in the future for future events. And this is just a brief step to posturation. You might need a lot of practices, but just a brief run through on generally to do a stable posturation. There are a few steps that you can follow to do a perfect one. So what you do is, first of all, you have your right hand down first before you kneel down. And if you have when you go back to Jingsi abode, you will have lotus chair in front. Make sure to push the back of the chair down. So you will place down, and then you kneel down on the left knee. And then you put and then your hands will be in front of the cushion, performing like a figure 8 in Chinese, and only put your head down. So when you put your head down, once you put your head down, you put your palms back facing outwards. And before you rise, you close your palms again, close it back. So when you're back, you will be in this position again. And then before you rise, you do the same motion. You put your left hand back, you put your right hand back, supporting yourself up, but you always have another hand to help support yourself, so you are not sort of wobbly when you are doing a posturation. Yeah, so this is this few steps probably require a few practices. Yeah. And the next one, most important, etiquette are very important, but make sure to always put on the City facial creams, because this is to help you get along with others and more expressions, so that you have a kind expressions, are more approachable than others, to others, so that people are easy to get with you. So based on what we have, City facial cream, according to City people, have 5 usage. They found that it has 5 effects. The first one is detox. Why is it detox? Because it removes the 5 poisons of greed, hatred, delusions, arrogance, and doubt. The second one is spot removal. It removes any bad thoughts in your heart. The third one is you activate yourself. So it can revive and activate the cells, the hidden love in your heart. The fourth one is to promote metabolism. It reveals the evil first, and then change the direction and repair it. You know, metabolism is to changing from bad to good. And then the fifth one is to keep you always young and happy, so that the City facial cream is your natural makeup at no cost or effort. And lastly, I would like to, why are all these important? Is because I think when I'm performing all this etiquette, it's actually reminding me that we are all working as a team, represent the organization, and we would all like to walk on this Bodhisattva pathway, not only at this moment, but we wanted to do it for a really long period. So if we all maintain the same etiquette, we will be able to recognize our own family members, and we will be able to keep walking on this pathway infinitely, and also make sure that we always are cultivating sincerity, integrity, faith, and steadfastness internally. And then when we are walking on the pathway we walk into to help people, we are practicing loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. And before I conclude, I would like to share an aphorism that I really like by Dharma Master Chen Yen. That is, with faith, we will have unlimited strength. With selfless intention, we will be showered with blessings. That's the end of my section. Thank you.